What's up, everyone? Michael, aka Spirit Shard, here with Interstellar Marines. A little bit earlier, I checked out the Hell Week thing and was not very... I guess I didn't really like it, to be honest. There wasn't enough people to really, say if I really would enjoy it in the future or not, but there's definitely not enough people playing it right now. And so I thought I'd take a video to not only give feedback, because developers are looking for feedback, obviously, but also to kind of show a little bit more of the actual gameplay of the game that's currently in it. Now, do keep in mind, this is early access, and I would say this is extremely early access, because it does not run well, and there's really not a lot in the game. I found out there's only one type of enemy, which you can read in the description here, are combat training robots. And that's the only AI in the game right now. So hopefully they plan to add more than that, because that's obviously not enough. This game has a long way to go, and just in general, it's not really anywhere quite yet. And I have tried recording as well, and I've run into a few bugs. So there are a few bugs to be aware of, like I started up a game and started without a gun, and no matter how many games I started or anywhere, no matter what I was doing, I would always spawn without a gun, and his fingers looked like they were crunched croissants. So that was interesting. But then there was also a thing to where every time I fired my gun, I went back to the desktop. That was a thing. And just a myriad of small little things, like the robots would shoot me through walls, or they would know where I'm at every time I respawned, which you'll see that in here. I'm pretty sure I'll die once, but things are persistent, so even when I respawned, they still knew exactly where I was, and so they would chase me no matter what. So they would chase me to the spawn before I even started the game. So yeah, there's definitely bugs. It's definitely a glitchy game right now, but we're going to go ahead and try the elimination. I couldn't get mainline to work. It freezes up on me and stuff like that, and that's the one I was having issues with. So we're going to try Stronghold this time around. I do have the other session recorded, but it ended up getting fragmented because of the whole desktop situation I was talking about. I don't feel like piecing together 50 little things. Alright, so first off, the thing that I like about it is I do like the idea of being in this artificial world. This is all pretty cool. They need to work on some of the aesthetic of it. It doesn't look as good as it should, in my opinion. But the idea is pretty cool. Also, this looks exactly like the same as the other map. I'm curious if that's a glitch, as if it's, loading in the same map no matter what option I pick. So that is something to be aware of. So I picked the other option, the main line, and it still loaded up the same map. I don't even know if this is Stronghold or not, or if that was the name of the map either. Basically, though, the major issue with this game is performance right now. I'm getting shot at. I don't know from where either. Also, this is loud. I'm going to turn that down. Alright, so over there. I'm getting shot from over there. Shot at. There you are. Boom, 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 boom. There we go. So the shooting works. The shooting is, on the player end anyways, is actually pretty decent. It's a nice kickback. It's got nice recoil. The animations are nice. The sound is decent. Could sound a little bit better, but they're supposed to be... Oh, hey. It's supposed to be all futuristic and stuff like that, I guess. But yeah, the gun works fine, and it sounds pretty good. That's probably the best aesthetic to the game right now is the sound. They're obviously using some sort of sound engine thing to where it's got reverb, I think is what it's called. It's got some nice echo effects. It just sounds nice. So that's a positive. The graphical side of things, it's not too impressive. It reminds me of the original Halo, obviously higher resolution and all of that type of stuff, but it's not graphically impressive. And there's no screen effects that really stand out either. When you get shot, your screen goes red, and that's not really helpful. They do need to add things like indicators and screen effects for when your character's tired. Right now they got a percentage thing in the bottom right, which the SO2 thing, which when it fills up can't run anymore or something like that. I don't know how it works. Maybe you take damage. I haven't really explored that far. I've normally just stopped before it gets to 100%, because that just seems like something you should do. But yeah, so that's kind of nice. I like the HUD. I like the way it's set up because it fits with the setting. And so graphically, that's pretty cool. I hope they add some more effects. Having the little mask on, at first it bothered me, but I actually got used to it pretty quick. So that is a semi-complaint. Some people might not like that, but I actually don't mind it. you know, the Halos actually had those as well, like just another comparison to Halo. Sorry, I've been watching E3, I have Halo on the mind. But basically, yeah, so it's pretty ignorable after you play for a little bit, and it adds a nice little aesthetic. Oh, the alarm's off now. Now, the game is obviously buggy, like I said. These alarms, if I die and respawn, these alarms will still be going. They need to fix that. They need to make it so that the map completely resets when you die and have to restart. Because otherwise, you kind of get in a situation to where they know where you're at when you spawn, which is not cool. They know you're aware. You can actually silence weapons, so I will show that in a second. Can you go down? Thank you. Alright, so here you can actually set up on that. That's actually tied to a key. Oh, hello. You can also turn on the laser with G. You also have a flashlight, which is pretty cool. So I like that. Like the gun stuff is good. So the single player, or the player experience I should say, with the gun is pretty nice. Now the thing I would say about the gun is that enemies don't respond to your bullets when you shoot things. Oh, I'm dead. Right, anyways, when you shoot things, they don't like respond to getting shot. You're just shooting at a target and the target's taking damage. So like when you get shot in the shoulder, you're gonna get some kickback because bullets are heavy. Not physically, but like, how do I even mention that? I don't even know how to word that correctly. Basically, when you get hit with a bullet, you're gonna react to it. And even though these guys are supposed to be like robots, I still think that they're not gonna be like a tank and be like, yeah, I'm just gonna walk right through. Oh, so the alarm's not on this time. Okay, so that was just a glitch last time I played, so yeah, that does seem random. That is a bug you guys need to check into for the devs. And I think I'm already getting shot at. I heard bullets. Anyways, yeah, so they don't respond, and they're responding to seeing you is just they instantly shoot your direction. Some of the AI is, yeah, so the AI needs to get improved. I mean, I can't really say much because it's early access, but definitely it is something that needs to get looked at. There you are, hi. They're also incredibly good at aiming or really bad at aiming, I've noticed. I don't really know what that's at. Blah, blah, blah. Ow, ow, ow. Switch weapons. They do have different weapons. I think that weapons need to either drop from the robots or be around the map as well. Because right now you just start with all the weapons, I think. So I have... Actually, hold on, let me cycle through. Do I have all 3 weapons? Yeah, so I have all 3 weapons. I don't know if there's any more weapons, but these are the only weapons I've actually seen in the game so far. But yeah, definitely need more variety in the weapons. But everything about the weapons that exist in the game right now, it's definitely cool. I like them. They all have different scopes. And they have different fires. I don't remember how to switch that. E... Nope, that's silencer. There's a button to switch the... Oh, if you hit H, the HUD goes away. That's kind of cool. Alright, RT1. Oh, you can use the number keys to switch them. I think that everything's rebindable too. Maybe it's tab? Tab, no, control, shift. Alright, so you can switch the firing mode. I just don't know how. I was doing it the first time I was testing the game, so that is a thing. There's a tutorial. The tutorial says it, so you could also check out the tutorial. Hey you, stop it. But yeah, so the robots just looked at me and then started shooting at me. He didn't actually get knocked back or anything like that. So they do need to work on that. AI needs to be improved. Just let's say that in general. Yeah, see, these guys aren't even alerted either. Take you out. No, 1 second, I'm gonna take you out. Let's see if headshots count. No, I don't know if there's actual headshots. There could be, but there's no way to tell. So maybe an indicator on that type of stuff would also be pretty nice. So let's talk about the level design. Because right now you're looking at this and you're just like, this is just a jumbled mess. Which is pretty much what this map is, I've noticed. There's 2 different types of maps in this game. There's absolutely nothing here maps, and then there's the everything's just super crazy and I have no idea what's going on. Which I would rather prefer the I don't know what's going on thing, because that's really just learning the area, so that's perfectly fine. But it's the... Oh, I'm dead again. It's the areas to where it's just barren, and if you watch the Hell Week video, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about, to where there's just nothing there. So they need to work a little bit on the level design. Also, there's like you can take cover, but the cover really doesn't help and stuff like that. So I think that if they work on the maps a little bit more and just make more interesting scenarios. So like I spawn here and I'm out here in this forest area, and that's kind of cool because I can sneak around and stuff like that. But beyond that, it's just kind of like, it's kind of meh. You know, it's a map with stuff in it, and everything just kind of feels like it's thrown around without purpose. So, you know, having some sections with purpose, you know, maybe make it so it's like, oh, this is a factory, and so you make it so there's factory machines and stuff like that. Or, you know, maybe this is a vehicle bay, and then have vehicles kind of layered around everywhere. Oh, hello. That scared me for a second. Also, indicators when you get shot, I already mentioned that, but like other types of indicators, like, you know, maybe there's an enemy over here you've sighted. Maybe, you know, add in enemy markers. I don't know if there is enemy markers. I haven't found a key for it yet. But, you know, be able to mark enemies for your teammates, or, you know, maybe, I don't know, maybe some interesting, like, items to use. That would actually be pretty cool. So, you know, other games will have, like, things like radar beacons and stuff like that. So, like, why couldn't we have some of those? Maybe some explosive, like, C4s, some traps, something along those lines. The campaign for the game isn't exactly flushed out right now for obvious reasons, because it's early access, and I'm dead again. You also die really quick, but that's understandable because it's supposed to be difficult, I guess. The game is also supposed to be played in squads, I think. But, you know, having some interesting objects to use, some interesting, maybe some map environment stuff too. Like there's water up in the top on this map. Maybe that could affect the robots. Maybe the robots start going haywire because there's, you know, water. Maybe you could, oh, now there's not water. But yeah, maybe there's a button to activate the water, and then it, you know, freezes the robots when they get into contact with it. Maybe there could be like turrets on the map. Maybe there's some automated turrets that you can take over, because, you know, it's supposed to be all artificial. Like they said, their environments are supposed to be like, oh yeah, you're in an artificial space sort of thing going on. Which is, it's cool, but yeah, once again, they need to work on the level design. Some of the stuff that bothers me too is some of the foliage will actually block your movement while others won't. It's kind of bothersome. Maybe having some health bar instead of just numbers. Maybe make a lot of more bars for the HUD. That would be quite nice. Also, making it easier to join friends. I think it would be interesting to have jump in, drop out multiplayer. Now, I haven't actually gotten to play multiplayer besides the Hell Week, where I literally saw nobody. So if you play that, you know, or watch that video, you keep in mind I don't actually run into anyone. A little bit of a spoiler alert for that. But the population's pretty low right now, at least for when I'm playing. I'm playing early in the morning, so that's most likely why, but there's definitely not a lot of people on here. I think they just did a little round of like advertising to people, and so there's been a few people on here, but it's early access. It's gonna die off really, really quick, so they need to keep people in, so hopefully they keep updates up. So that's just general advice. You know, keep the updates rolling. There are a few things. Like, I guess just add content is an obvious one to go to. There's not much in here, and if you guys, you know, don't actually add in a lot of content, at least not quickly, you're gonna run out of players, like, very, very quickly. Maybe some extra objectives too. Like, the campaign, I think, has like 1 or 2 missions in it. I played it a little bit, and it's like, go here and go there, basically. So maybe add some interesting objectives, like maybe vehicles. Like, oh hey, you gotta drive this thing. Like in the Hell Week, there was this giant ship thing, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's interesting. I died again, by the way. And it's like, oh yeah, that's interesting. You know what? Why can't we fly one of those? Because that would be awesome. Maybe have some flying sections or something like that. Some vehicles. Maybe not the flying things, because I know flying is kind of difficult, especially when you're working on maps, and these types of maps, I kind of see this. Maybe more indoor areas, like these tunnels. These tunnels are cool. I like these tunnels. I don't know why. I think that's a little bit of like Star Wars nostalgia thing going on, but the corridors are cool. I like the corridors, so maybe have more maps that are focused around that, because a lot of the maps are like these squared off kind of artificial sections, and I really think the corridors is something that's super cool that you could do a lot with. I know there's a lot of games in the past, like a cool game from the past, it's not a shooter, but it's called Project Number 03, or PN03 is actually what the title is. That game has some really cool corridor stuff going on with it, and it's very simple aesthetic, and maybe you guys could look at that for some inspiration. But yeah, you know, kind of mix up the levels. Quite interesting. In the Hell Week thing, there was a few different types. I know, maybe some automatic auto reload. Maybe when you run out of ammo, that would be nice as well. Just usability stuff. So when you run out of ammo, it just automatically reloads. That might be nice. But you know, just some more interesting stuff. They had a cave, or not cave, but canyon type area. Hello, I'm probably. Oh, there we go. I actually shot him. That was nice. Nice blind fire. They had canyons, they had some jungle area, which was more of like sort of just water and a little bit of rock. I didn't really explore that area. And then they had some snowy area that I explored. There was another area called Industry, which I was actually going to, which that might actually be where the corridors come in, which would actually be pretty cool, but I haven't seen it yet. So, yeah, I have to reload one of these weapons sooner or later. Nope, I'm dead. Or maybe when you gotta reload, maybe there's an indicator. That would be nice. But yeah, some more interesting maps. There's not very many maps I've been able to try yet. So, yeah, obviously, HUD needs to be worked on, or not really the HUD, but the loading in between games and stuff like that. So you need something more than just text in the middle of the screen. Like, it looks simple, and that can look nice, but it's also not gonna fit with your aesthetic very well. Also, indicators for when you want to push buttons, having an E floating on there, like, that works for a certain extent, but when you're close enough, make a button prompt or something like that. That'd be nice, and that's for all activatables. Also, for the campaign, in the tutorial, it makes you do this small little puzzle thing to where you gotta kind of sort out these power boxes. You know, maybe add in some more puzzles, because I'm dead again. I think this is gonna be the last time I do that. But yeah, you know, add in some interesting puzzles. You know, these are just general ideas. Also, for the settings, if you hit escape, it pops up these. You know, more settings would also be nice. And a little more oh. Alright. That was interesting. So yeah, a little bit more settings for the graphical stuff. The game doesn't perform well right now, but more than just shadow quality and then these toggles. What does vignetting do? Maybe that adds in screen effects. I don't really know. Let's walk around a little bit with that. Oh no, it just adds in a little bit of darkness to the side. Oh god, my frame rate died when I turned that on though. The performance is definitely not good enough for that to work. And here's the thing to where I respawn and the alarm's still going. Maybe the alarms only last so long and then they just automatically shut off, but yeah, I did just respawn and the alarms are still going. So definitely reset the entire map and, you know, the game resets. That's kind of important. You don't go on Mario and then respawn, you know, restart the level and then all the coins are gone. That's not how it works. Or a Sonic game where, you know, you start over the level and all the rings are gone because you're just gonna die from the first robot you touch. That would suck. So yeah, and I think that's gonna kind of conclude this video. There's obviously little nitpick things I can think of like here and there, and just, you know, a lot of different stuff. But you know, without something specific to look at, it's kind of hard to actually give a lot of feedback. Also, given the fact that there's not really a lot of content to begin with. I mean, that's the main thing. You know, I want to see this thing advance. You know, get in more content, and then there's definitely going to be, you know, things that go along the way. If you guys get cool ideas, throw them out there. Don't be afraid to try things out. You know, you're in early access. That's, you know, what it is for. You can get feedback on pretty much anything. You know, maybe have a weekly thread on your forums, and it's like, hey, you know, what do you guys think of this? You know, that'd be super awesome. You know, people love interacting with developers. It's the core of what we do, you know? So, yeah, that's going to conclude this video. I really do hope the devs check out this video, because I did take time to look in and actually make the video. It does take time to make a video. Surprise, surprise. And it takes time to make a game as well, and, you know, the more feedback you get, the better it can turn out. So, hope you guys are super passionate. You guys seem pretty proud of your work and all that. You know, obviously you're advertising it to people, so you're obviously got to be somewhat proud of it. But yeah, I'm excited to see where this game goes. It's in my library, obviously. So I'd love to play it in the future, but I don't think I'll be checking it out again unless there's some huge update until, you know, it's out of early access. And once it's out of early access, I'll see what you guys have done. So yeah, this has been Michael, aka Spirit Shard, checking out Interstellar Marines in early access, kind of with a feedback video. And I hope it was entertaining and informative. You know, it might not have been as entertaining, I don't really know. But yeah, thanks for watching. Big hopes.